If you tune in to this leaked audio recording, it sounds like a chaotic gaming lobby. People are shouting over cheap microphones and hurling insults. But the voices on this public Twitter space belong to cartel mercenaries, state-sponsored hackers, and federal fugitives. Instead of games, they are discussing live assassinations and the manipulation of national election databases. These outlaws have traded secure, encrypted text forums for public live audio. It comes down to a concept called radical vulnerability. In text, a hacker can take 10 minutes to craft a perfectly calm, proxy-routed denial. On live audio, a cracking voice or a shift in breathing patterns acts as an involuntary polygraph, instantly revealing stress to everyone listening. This environment serves two functions. It operates as a high-stakes war room where operatives share zero-day exploits, but it also functions as an aggressive group therapy session for individuals who share the psychological toll of being targeted by flawed legal systems. On this frequency, the distance between state security and criminal operatives disappears. They trade intel in the same room, revealing a shadow war where federal agents and cartel hitmen are often functionally identical. The catalyst for dissecting this specific audio leak is a classified intelligence dossier tracking an apex cartel operative known globally as hacker Damaso Lopez. Intelligence agencies have spent years hunting this specific digital ghost. The intelligence community's master file on hacker Damaso Lopez is an error. This specific super hacker does not exist. This diagram illustrates the concept of lexical conflation. This happens when automated intelligence algorithms scrape decentralized forums, social media, and court documents, pulling in similar names and aliases. Because the algorithms lack human context, they erroneously stitch together three distinct human beings into a single master profile. To map out the mechanics of Mexico's cyber underground, we have to manually rip this algorithmic ghost apart and examine the three separate lives trapped inside the data. This image of the Interpol headquarters represents the force that targeted the first individual in this composite file, a corporate security defender operating in South America. In 2017, his home was raided by Interpol agents, and he spent 17 months in prison for corporate extortion. The arrest was triggered by a literal typo on the official search warrant. This failure highlights the technological incompetence of the physical justice system. When law enforcement agencies attempt to prosecute cybercrimes without understanding the underlying technology, they frequently target innocent analysts, while the actual perpetrators remain untouched. The second individual folded into the Damaso Lopez file is a loud, attention-seeking troll. His operational security is so poor that after he publicly challenged a rival hacker online, his entire digital infrastructure was completely erased from the internet in exactly 4 days. Yet despite this technical incompetence, this same individual is named in Mexican federal investigation documents. He is publicly accused of orchestrating the physical assassination of a prominent hacker known as Megabyte. Highly lethal, state-sponsored mercenaries tolerate this loud, easily compromised individual in their private chat spaces because he provides an acoustic shadow. This is a form of digital noise that distracts surveillance from more valuable targets. In the cyber underground, incompetence is weaponized as camouflage. Apex predators require loud, highly visible decoys to absorb the attention of law enforcement, while the real, lethal operations run in total silence. The final piece of the composite file is the actual threat, a tactical cyber mercenary named Julio. While executing an espionage operation for the Mexican government, Julio rewrote the phone's kernel, the core software that manages hardware interactions, to disable the recording indicator light. He used this modified phone to secretly film the heir to the Sinaloa cartel during a clandestine meeting. This capture of the cartel heir, El Licenciado, was the direct physical result of Julio's digital espionage. But after the arrest, both the Mexican state and the DEA reneged on their agreements, leaving Julio entirely exposed to cartel retaliation. To survive, Julio built a fully automated deadman switch. He loaded a secure server with encrypted video evidence of top-tier state officials collaborating with cartel leadership. If Julio stops entering a cryptographic key, the server automatically executes a script to release the files to international journalists. The state's attempt to bury the operation backfired. creating a motivated rogue operative who spent the following years translating his recorded evidence into an automated digital weapon. Julio named his weapon the Anti-Complices engine. It is a piece of software engineered to mathematically prove the existence of the narconomina, the hidden cartel payroll connecting politicians to criminal operators. This diagram illustrates the engine's initial data gathering phase. The software exploits vulnerabilities within the SS7 telecom protocol. Signaling system number 7 is the global protocol that allows different cellular networks to route calls and messages to one another. By exploiting this layer, the engine intercepts raw metadata and bypasses local encryption. The engine then identifies behavioral anomalies, flagging instances where a supposedly clean politician places 30 encrypted calls to a cartel burner phone within a single month. The engine cross-references this with mapping APIs, interfaces that allow different software programs to communicate geographic data. This allows the system to pinpoint the exact physical doors where these clandestine meetings occur. In 5 minutes of processing time, this code strips away the anonymity of the criminal underworld. It converts messy telecommunications noise into geographic proof of collusion. With the completed digital weapon in hand, Julio attempted to hand the software directly over to Mexican state prosecutors and investigative journalists. This image of the Mexican National Palace represents the institutional response: hostile rejection. Rather than deploying the tool, authorities blocked the software's access and issued threats against its creator. This illustrates a concept called institutional self-preservation. A government cannot plug in a machine designed to algorithmically map cartel collusion if the software will immediately target the high-ranking officials turning it on. The rejection is also driven by simple economics. Corrupt executives embedded within state agencies profit by selling the same telecommunications data that the Anti-Complices engine uses to track them. The technical capacity to map these networks exists today. The real constraint is the political risk of a search that implicates the officials in charge.